How y'all doing this morning over there on Instagram? I ain't had a chance to brush my curls out. Yep, yep. Boy, good morning. Y'all look so amazing over there on Instagram. How y'all doing today? We are about to get some understanding going on. Yes. Yes, today is Friday. This is some advice for you. You are waiting for Facebook to come up. Good morning, YouTube. Welcome, welcome. It was an honor to meet you last Saturday at Step House. Yes, yes. Woo! Yes, now I see you, Angela, Apostle Duchess. Yes, yes. Good morning, guys. Good morning, YouTube. How you doing? Guys, that's why I sing. So every morning I got a song, and somebody keep asking me what it is. Today I'm listening to Fred Hammond, You Are My Song. This song just kind of put me in a mode of understanding. Sometimes when you don't have people that can understand you, the thing about understanding and being understood, this is something that I learned is very important for me. When you feel like you're being misunderstood, people don't listen, they're missing the point. You're trying to, even in the middle of a conversation, you're trying to get your point across. The one thing that's very important, you got to connect with somebody that does understand you. And sometimes you don't have backup. But when I listen to this song, You Are My Song by Fred Hammond, it reminds me that the one connection that I consistently have in my life, whether I'm doing right, whether I'm doing wrong, because like my cousin said, where can you go that God is not there? If you make your bed in hell, he there. If you go to the heaven, he there. So it don't matter where you are, the one person that understands you. And for some of y'all who don't understand him in the person, for that one entity that understand you, that one connection that you gotta always maintain is that connection between you and God. And this song puts me right in his presence because it helps me remember who my song is, who is my melody, what is my purpose. I love my children, I love my friends, I love my family, I love my significant other, but I have to love God more than all those things, because at the end of the day, as much as I love them, there are going to be times when they don't understand me, but he does, because he's always merciful and he's so loving kind. When ain't nobody kind to you, when ain't nobody loving you the way that you believe you need to be loved, ain't nobody loving you, he gonna love you. He gonna love you. Y'all don't understand. When you feel weak, he's your tower of power. And he is the key of honor. When you feel like there is no honor in your life, you hold on to God. He is the key of honor. Y'all got to get with it today. I ain't trying to have church. I'm just telling y'all how to be understood. You got to know that there's somebody out there who understands you and who always is willing to take time to listen. Y'all make sure that y'all share this video on today, because I'm going to give you some advice, because the most frustrating thing I've ever had to deal with in my entire life is being misunderstood. And as a beauty professional, I have had to refine my skill in not only understanding, but being understood by people who sit in my chair. For his grace and mercy, God. Listen, guys, y'all got to understand, y'all connect with him because of his grace and mercy. He gonna be with you no matter what. Thank you, Fred Hammond. That's Fred Hammond, Radical for Christ. You Are My Song. I challenge y'all today to listen to that song today. Oh, I got chill bumps up under this. Y'all know y'all can't see them, but listen to that song today. I am not worried about where you are, what you did last night, this morning, what you're gonna do this week. Understand this, that in order for anybody else to understand, you got to know where your power come from. You got to know that there's somebody out there who understands you. And the reason it's important for you to understand that God understands you, and this is actually going a whole nother way, but I'm going to roll with it. The reason that I believe it's important for you to know that God understands where you are, because if you don't have that core thing going on in your spirit, everything else will fall apart. Sometimes in life, you are going to be the only person that understands where you are at that moment. But it's a very lonely place when you feel like it's just you. So you got to be able to connect with God. And let's just jump right into this effective communication. I want to give you guys 5 things that's going to help y'all be. I hear y'all out there hollering and shouting, Angela. Boy, y'all pulling on me. Church ain't till Sunday. Shout out on Sunday. I ain't messing with y'all today. Listen, effective communication. This is going to be very important, and God is still all the way in the mix. 5 things that you can do when you feel like you're being misunderstood, and when people are not listening, when they're not paying attention, when they just feel like they're taking your words and twisting and turning it. I'm trying to tell you 5 things that you can do that's going to help you with this. Understand this. Effective communication is the process. Listen, is the process of exchanging ideas, thoughts, knowledge, and information in such that the purpose or intent is to fulfill in the best possible manner. In simple words, it is nothing but presenting your views and your ideas to somebody in a way that they can understand it. Just that simple. Part of the frustration that we feel when we are misunderstood is that people don't know what we're talking about. They don't understand us. They looking at us like we crazy, especially if you're in a heated argument with somebody at your job, somebody at church, or somebody in your house, your kids, your significant other. When you're in the middle of a disagreement with them, you're not being understood, and it's frustrating because you're like, why can't you see what's going on? Why don't you understand that what you're doing is hurting me? That's a whole nother live. But listen to me. The first thing you have to do whenever you begin to communicate with somebody is to calm yourself down. Shout out Sunday. Calm yourself down. See, I put this song on because I have to be rooted and grounded in something bigger than Misha. I have to be rooted and grounded in something bigger than me. I have to hold on to something stronger than me, because I'm going to tell y'all, this little cute face y'all see, boy, I'm like, y'all, let somebody rub me the wrong way, and it's a whole nother situation that you got going on. So I have to have someone who is grounded and who completely understands what I'm trying to do, and that's God. I'm trying to tell you, if you are having an issue, the first thing you got to check, this is number 1, is you got to check your God connection. Because, baby, if you ain't connected to the source, you gonna be tore up. If you ain't connected to the source of understanding and power, the most misunderstood person that I've ever known in my life is my Father in heaven. Come through. The most misunderstood. But yet his goodness and mercy and honor, he's still here. He's still with us. So we have to learn from what it is that we see our Father do. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Don't mean you're gonna do it perfect. So don't even go there. But learning is a process. The first thing you got to do is be connected with somebody, a higher power. You got to nurture that part. The second thing is you got to understand what it is and why you even having this conversation. What is it that you want this person to know? What is it that you are trying to get them to understand at your job? What is it that you are trying to get them to understand in your business? What is it that you're trying to get them to understand in a relationship? What is it that you need them to understand? Is it just is it an idea? Is it a thought? Is it information? What is it that you try? See, that's the first thing, because see, you got to know what you're trying to say before you can get somebody. You can't expect, listen, number 2, you can't expect anybody to understand what you don't know. You might feel a lot of things, but sometimes you got to get your feelings in order before you even approach a conversation. That used to be part of my problem. Honey, I will come and feelings is all everywhere. You have to get those feelings in order, and you have to put yourself in a place where you know what you're trying to say. And you might not be able to say it in the heat of the moment. I never been one of those people, y'all know them people who always, y'all know them people. Thank you, Angelo. With the boy, we over there having church on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Y'all got to catch up. But listen, I always been one of those people who didn't have that quick snapback. You know how some of those people, you can say something to and they got to snap back. I never was that person. I've learned how to do sometimes, but I never was that person. I was always that person that when somebody came at me, I had to think about what I needed to say. And listen, if you want to be understood, that's what you have to do. You have to back down just for a moment. And you might say, I ain't got time for that. Listen, you either got time to be understood or you're going to be misunderstood. You have to make time to be understood. You have to know what it is you want to say and why you want to say it. The most eloquent response I ever heard someone say is a person that got shots thrown at them and they were quiet for a few moments. And then the things that came out of their mouth shut everybody else down. It shut the whole room down. So I learned at that moment that you have to know what you want to say and why you want to say it. Number two, you have to understand this, that whenever you go to someone to share an idea, to share a thought, to share knowledge and information, you are simply exchanging your information to them. You're simply sharing your POV, your point of view. When I say POV, that's your point of view. You're simply sharing your POV with them. You're not trying to, if they get indoctrinated from what you believe and what you're sharing, then that's a connection. That's what happens when we go to church. When we sit, when we hear the preacher preach whatever they're gonna preach, and you look across the room and you see it's full in there, that's a room full of, what do they call themselves? Believers. You know why? Because they all believe the same thing. They all have the same, all have a common thread, and they all believe the same thing. So he can effectively get in front of them, share with them whatever message it is that she's sharing to them. She can get up there, she can preach, she can teach, she can say whatever it is that is in her to communicate, and there's not going to be a misunderstanding for most of the time. Most of the time, there's not going to be a misunderstanding. There's not going to be a disagreement. 100 people shouting, they agree, and they so happy and in agreement that they're shouting. So you have to understand you're presenting something. Now, if the person that you're presenting it to don't believe what you say, and they don't agree with what you say, or they think you're giving them misinformation, then you have to understand that's their ability. That's what they get to do. That's on them. That's not on you. You have to be sound in your own belief before you think you can present it to someone else. Number two, exchange. Communication is all about exchange. Let them speak. Half the time that I'll say more than 3/4 of the time when I was trying to communicate something in an argument or just across the board, most of my reason that I got so frustrated was because I wasn't listening to what the other person was saying, and my not listening was frustrating them. See, guys, communication is a two-way street. It's not one way. Sometimes I think we get so driven in trying to get our point across that we think that it's one way, but it's not. It's two ways. And if you make the person that you're trying to get the point across to, you're trying to share information to, you're trying to give them your point of view, you're trying to give them some ideas, if you make them frustrated, that's going to impede the process of the exchange. It's gonna impede the process of exchange. So you have to let the person that you're communicating with, you got to let them speak. And you have to let them speak. And this is very, very important. Number three, you have to listen, Linda, listen, Lindas and Larrys. You have to listen to understand and not listen to battle. That is, if you listen to battle, the communication dies. If you begin to listen to battle, the communication dies. Remember, effective communication is the exchange of information, ideas, knowledge, or thoughts. So if my thoughts are here and your thoughts are there, in order for us to be able to do this, you have to listen to what I'm saying and understand it. Now, you might not agree with it. Y'all ever heard agreeing to disagree? Good morning, YouTube. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. It was an honor to meet you last Saturday at Step House. Hold on one second. Let me get this YouTube back up. I got a call that came through. But you have to listen to understand. If you don't listen to understand, then guess what happens? This right here begins to break down. This right here begins to break down. If this person does not feel understood, then guess what they're going to feel like? They're going to feel the same frustration that you felt. They are going to feel the same frustration that you felt. That's not fair. And see, communication has to be fair. We live in a world where we have a lot of information that's always traveling around us. We have a lot of things that's always going on around us. But I'm going to tell you guys something. At the end of the day, the best way for you to be able to be understood, get out of your own frustration, is have empathy for other people who may have the same issues going on. Last but not least, you have to check yourself and say, did I achieve my goal? Did this conversation get the point across? Now you might not be happy. They might not be happy. You might be crying. They might be crying. You might be mad. It might be a whole bunch of feelings going on. But did you say what it is that you need to say? Did you get your point across the way that you needed to get your point across? Did you listen the way that you need to listen? Remember, we got one mouth, two ears. Effective communication is 51% your responsibility. You are 50% of every situation that you're in. You can either be the top 50 or the bottom 50. I choose to be the top 50, and you don't need but 1 extra% to be in control of that situation. Stop struggling. Stop beating yourself down trying to be 90% of the conversation. You don't need but 1% to win or to be effective in any situation. 51%. Good morning, Arthur. 51% will cause people on Wall Street to give people on Wall Street the ability to make choices over that 49%. 51%. Stop struggling. You already halfway there. So effective communication. Let's run through it really, really quick because I got to go to work. Listen, the best way to keep from being misunderstood is understanding that what you are doing is you're either one more thing that's very, very important. You're either exchanging thoughts, ideas, information, or knowledge. Now listen, understand the difference between the both. Now if I'm having a conversation with you right now, I'm exchanging a little bit of all of it. I'm exchanging with you my thoughts and my ideas based off of my personal experience and the things that have worked for me and the things that have not worked for me. And I did take some communication classes when I was in college. So some of the things that I'm telling you is real solid information that has been proven, and it's information and knowledge that you can take back and you can go look up and say, oh well, this is what she was talking about. So always remember that as you approach this situation, are you trying to simply share statistics? Are you trying to share knowledge? Are you trying to share information? Are you trying to give somebody an idea? Are you trying to give people thoughts? Let me explain the reason that it's different. When you are I love you too. Thank you so much. I'm about to end anyway, Angela. But listen, when you are trying to share information and knowledge with people, have that paper, have your statistics, have the things that you need that can physically back you up to what it is that you're saying to them. That helps the communication go a lot further. You can say less words by showing people some statistics and data and even an article in the book or article in the newspaper. That help the news give us information all the time and they show us pictures and things that's going on. If you're trying to give people ideas and thoughts, if you're trying to express how you're feeling, if you're trying to help people understand how you're thinking, be patient. Be patient and understand this. We don't think the same way. And the way that I look at you is not the way that you see me. The way that I look at this world is not how you look at this world. We are all standing around a big old elephant. You might be looking at the trunk. I might be looking at the tail. Somebody else might be looking at the tusk. Somebody else might be looking at the side. But guess what? We are all looking at that same elephant. So don't be so quick to chop people down whenever they give you information and knowledge that may be different from you. Sometimes you just need to hold on to that and say, you know what, let me think about this. Let me just consider this. Take some time, digest what they're saying, and use it to build the relationship and not tear it down. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for jumping in here on Facebook. Guys, I appreciate you every single morning. My name is Misha Lee, and this is Morning Mojo, and we are on every single day, Monday through Friday. You don't see me on the weekends unless I'm just posting, but you can join me right here every single morning between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock. We just going to leave it right there, okay? How about that? and you can come back and always get the replay. But I will be here every day giving you some advice, giving you some motivation, optimism, some joy, and advice to help you be better and do better than I ever did, and to push through everything that you might be challenged through to help you on your way day to day. I absolutely love you. And if you're interested in being interviewed, or if you feel like you have something that you would love to share with somebody to be helpful and to motivate them, go to themishalee.com, click on the Morning Mojo Show, drop your name in there, put a comment in, and let's share your story. Guess what? I'm not the only person that ever been through something, and you probably got something that you can share. And guess what? We'll do it right here via the internet. So you don't even have to come to North Carolina. So it doesn't matter where you are. Put it in and we'll go through and we'll contact you and let you know if you've been selected. My name is Misha Lee. You can follow me across all social media as Misha Lee or the Misha Lee. I have a salon, Akachi Beauty Salons. Y'all can follow me on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. I'm on TikTok, YouTube. Go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. And if you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me there and now. I absolutely love you guys. Beauty professionals, I love you. Keep going. Y'all got this. Bye. See you Monday.